Hey kids! Welcome to the first video I filmed since I left for camp. I'm at some point gonna post a sort of breakdown of what happened and kind of at the end some vlog clips or whatever. It's weird. But here we are. It's also the first video in August, which means I'm going to do the last month's just asking questions, because I'm on track of my life, I'm on schedule. So here we go, we're just gonna jump right in. And there's gonna be something really important that I'm gonna talk about at the end of this video that I might address in a video dedicated to that entirely at some point, but for now it's just gonna be there, because it's related. So, we're gonna start on Tumblr, where I got a message from Mariah-H, which says, "Hey Azaria, I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan of yours. I've recently found your channel." This is true, you followed me like 16 hours ago, so, and I love your videos, and I really love your voice. Thanks, that's so kind of you, and so, it always just blows my mind whenever people say nice things about me. I don't know, it's nice. I was wondering what your vocal range was. This is a great question. I have no idea. I actually have never sat down and figured out what my vocal range is. I know I'm a soprano. I know I can also hit notes lower than what most sopranos can hit. One day I'll make a video figuring it out, because I really want to know, and I think more than just you people wants to know. I don't know. I'm a singer too. Super cool. But I'm not even close to being as good as you. That's probably not true. You're probably pretty great, and I'm also not that great, but, okay. And I know you said your whistle tones were bad. They're harmful. They're bad for me, and they're also not really that aesthetically, or whatever aesthetic is for sounding pleasing, but whatever. But I actually really enjoyed them. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed them. And I'm sad you won't make another video with your whistle tones. I'm sorry that you're sad about that. It's not something I'm going to get back on, because I would rather not do that specific thing and be able to do the rest of music than do that thing and ruin my voice potentially. But once I become financially independent with the sorts of resources to do that sort of thing, I want to find a vocal teacher who can sort of guide me through the process of learning how to do it correctly. Or just sing those notes, but like not as whistle notes or whatever. So I hope one day it's something I can return to, but whatever. Thanks so much for asking. Now we're gonna hop on over to Twitter, where Elizabeth Gaba asked, "Hi, huge fan." I've answered Elizabeth's questions before, so nice to see you again. Just wondering, what are your PGPs? I googled this. The first result for PGP is some sort of pretty good privacy software encryption thing for emails. The second thing is preferred gender pronouns, and I think that's what you're asking about. And my pronouns are they/them on the internet. They're not the ones I use off the internet at the moment, just because my life is complicated, and they're the ones I would love to use offline in the future, and when I go to college, I'm probably going to use those in person, but they're definitely the ones I want you all to call me by. Unless you know me offline, in which case use your best judgment. Thanks for asking. And then also, what house are you in? We're gonna do Hogwarts houses and not whatever the North American houses are, because that's weird cultural appropriation, and I'm just pretty frustrated with J.K. Rowling for being lazy. So, Hogwarts houses. Every quiz I've taken, except for the actual Pottermore quiz, put me in Gryffindor. Pottermore put me in Ravenclaw. The older I've gotten, the more I've thought I'm a Slytherin, and in reality I might just be a Hufflepuff. I don't know. If you ask me, I say that I want to be a Ravenclaw, but I'm probably a Slytherin. But I'm really not actually that ambitious. I think I'm a Hufflepuff. And I think my hesitation is just growing into this. I believe people can change. But also, I haven't taken the sorting quiz since it got updated, whenever, so we'll see. What else do you think I'm in? And what house are you all in? Let's have a discussion in the comments, because, you know, I am conceited enough to ask people to sort me. I'm crouching to, like, look at these things. At Tori G. What are you saying? At Tori G. Pellator said, "Hey, I like your videos. Thanks. Hey, I like your face." There are a bunch of people who are saying, this is the new follow for follow. It's the be active or spam me, and I'll be active and spam you. I'm not really into that. Maybe when I get a smartphone, maybe, but I'm certainly not gonna, like, promote that in these questions. But hey, thanks for reaching out to me. Then at estrogen e_ and I were talking a bit about what it's like to be trans and go to a Christian college, because Kit, that's her name, went to Eastern University, which was a place I'm kind of casually looking into, and so she was part of this whole big movement for trans acceptance because she's a trans woman, and fortunately enough, we have a mutual friend, and so I kind of was just talking to her a bit about that. Then Prompt is telling me to download their free ebook on how to apply to college. No thanks. And we're gonna read this from at Marie_Ree, which I got 56 minutes ago, and I haven't actually read it. So, hey Azaria, I don't know if you saw my Tumblr message, but I'm a huge fan of yours. I wanted to cry when I saw you followed me back. I even made one of your covers my ringed. What is this? Someone made what? What? I'm someone's ringed. What? Well, is this what being famous is like? Because I'm here for this. It would mean the world to me if you did another Whistletone cover, and I know that it's damaging, but could you do another one for me? Here's the thing. You're great. I love you. You're fantastic. You're a wonderful human being. Why would you ask someone you're a fan of to do something that's damaging to them? That just doesn't really make sense to me. I'm not going to at this point in my life. I hope that I can in the future. I can't in good conscience. I can't now because I'm, like, acutely sick with something on top of having a chronic illness, whatever, who knows, who cares. But I don't think that's really a wise idea. I'm sorry. But it just, you made it, okay, I'm someone's ringtone. That's a little bizarre. Okay. So now I want to talk about something that happened between me and someone on Twitter who I'm not going to name by name. And this is the thing I was talking about at the beginning of the video. This is really important. And I'm probably going to make another video just about this. Someone messaged me on Twitter, and they were talking about how they're a big fan, and they wanted to ask a bit about Whistletones. They wanted me to teach them. I actually didn't respond to that message because I'm like, listen, I may talk about this in a video. I'm not going to teach Whistletones because they're bad, and I'm not a good teacher. And then we chatted a bit because they kept messaging me and I felt bad. I'm like, listen, usually I just wait and answer questions that are DM'd to me in a jam session, but hey, let's chat. And so then they're like, they say, ugh, DMs are so annoying. If you want to talk anymore, here's my number. Insert number. And then I don't respond because I go to camp and my phone has died and it just seems like the world is working against us. Like, my phone actually died, not just its battery, so I had to get a new phone. It was a bit of a hassle, but whatever. Then they're like, why haven't you responded to me yet? So then I tell them, and then I say, the longer answer is that I don't really feel comfortable giving out my phone number to people I know only over the internet. I know it's super lame, but it's a personal thing. And that's true. If I haven't met you face to face, I'm not going to give you my phone number. That feels like a boundary I shouldn't really cross. So it's probably going to be an issue if I ever download Tinder on a smartphone or whatever, but that may make things a little different because then I can actually see at least who's catfishing me. But I'm just not going to give my number out to someone on the internet. And it's important to have personal boundaries. And so then this person says, this is why they say not to meet your idols. Cry emoji, cry emoji, cry emoji. I can't believe this. Frowny face. So hurt. Tear emoji. Cry emoji is like the streams. Tear emoji is just the one tear. Do not guilt trip people into giving information they don't want to give. Do not guilt trip people into moving beyond their boundaries. Do not guilt trip people into doing things they don't want to rule. Fundamental rules of consent, people. Consent does not just apply to sex. Consent applies to literally everything. If someone does not consent, do not pressure them to do something, because that is just not okay. That's unethical and it's wrong. And if we're talking about sex, which we're not in this case, if we're talking about sex, pressuring someone to give consent qualifies as rape, whether that's true in the eyes of the law or not, and that varies a little bit. But do not pressure people. Do not pressure people to do whistle tones that are damaging, that they have said they will not do. Do not pressure people to give their phone numbers to you if they don't want to. And this, like, for me, I could live my life with people asking me these questions. Ideally, more people are going to be asking me these questions, because ideally more people will be watching, and that's super bizarre to me, super cool. But I just want to let you all know, people who might not have a platform, people who might not have a voice, people who might not feel like they can get away with it. You do not have to do anything you don't want to do. You do not have to engage with anybody you don't want to do. I have a policy. I'm going to stick with this policy. I'm not like, or at least for the foreseeable future, going to stick with this policy. I'm not going to block people on Twitter. But if someone is making you uncomfortable, if someone's asking you for your number and you don't want to give it to them and they won't leave you alone, feel free to block them. The button's there for a reason. It's the same thing with, like, my comments. I choose to let everybody say what they want and leave it up there. You don't have to do that. You can block people. I think there's something equivalent to blocking on YouTube. Do not let people pressure you into doing stuff you don't want to. Stand your ground. And do not pressure people to do things they don't want to. Leave them alone. Let them have that choice. Let them have that option. This is a very long video, but I think that's really important. And I'm not specifically trying to hound on these people, because they're very nice people, and they probably don't know that this is such a big issue. And, like, a year ago, I would have done the same thing, and I would have replied the same way. But it's so, so important that we respect people when they say they don't want to do something. Like, I didn't have to provide the justification that I don't feel comfortable giving my number out to people on the internet. I could have specifically been like, no, I'm not giving you my number. And that should have been just as fine. this got really rambly, and it might not come across like I'm appreciative at this point, but I really am. I really appreciate everybody who watches, everybody who asks questions, everybody who engages with me. And it's so bizarre that someone has me as their ringtone? Like, what? That's so cool. And I hope to be able to make Whistle-Tone videos safely in the future. And I hope, ideally, I would meet this person who wants my number face-to-face at some point, and then we can chat and whatever. But, for now, let the internet be the internet. And let meet space, the world face-to-face, be meet space. I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm really tired, even though I've only been up for like 6 hours today. I hope you have a great day. I really do. Everybody, I hope you have a great